Professor Wu, how do you assess the overall development of China's space science? Where are we now compared to other leading countries in the realm?
We are still the beginners. The most advanced country in the world in space science is the United States, and after that is a European. Uh, there's an agency called European Space Agency. They have 25 members, so they are organizing all these 25 members to do a space science program altogether. So if you see Europe as a whole, it's also quite good, quite strong. And then next, we probably will have Japan. If you counting the investment, Japan spend more than China on space science. So we are still at the beginning. But since space science is trying to discover new science to prove new theories, so it is everything you do, it must be first. So although we are very small, we are just at the beginning. What we have done is still quite significant. So we are one of the new players now.
Could you elaborate a little bit more about the achievements that China has made?
Since 2011, we have four science programs, and after that, start from 2017, we initiated another five programs. So the first four programs has all been launched, and they are having a very good result. For example, the dark matter detector is making a very successful measurement on very high energy particles from the universe. So then we are making a spectrum, a curve, according to the different particles, and according to the physics, there should be a standard curve. But what we have discovered is the curve is different from the theory. So it's several papers, important papers, has been published on quite good journals, including Nature and Science.
Mm. We see socio-economic sectors, etc., are affected by the unexpected COVID-19 outbreak. How about the space science sector in China? Has the spread of the virus brought any challenges on China's space science?
At the moment, there are some delays because of the lockdown, and we cannot actually only until this month we can travel. Before it is very difficult to travel. When you travel, you have to stay 14 days in quarantine when you come back, and even when you arrive there, they ask you to stay in quarantine. So it is difficult to travel before the end of April. So there are some delays, and the ongoing programs and the development, we need component, we need manufacturers, and all these factories has some delays after the Spring Festival. So in general, there are two roughly some 1 month, some part of 2 months, maximum is 2 months delayed for our ongoing development.
Mm. Your proposal this year calls for the establishment of a Space Science 2035, major science and technology projects. So, could you please tell us more about the project? Why is it crucial for the development of China's aerospace industry?
We are right now we are under a space science program, which is one part of the budget of Chinese Academy of Sciences. And this kind of budget cannot sustain more than 5 years. So every 5 years we have to apply another budget again. So this is according to the 5 years budget plans of the country. But this is not very good for space science. We need a long-term plan. We need to call for new proposals, and we need to give money for them for pre-studies and before they really go to the engineering phase. So each program may last more than 10 years. So that's why we propose to include the space science program into the large national programs in the big budget up to 2035. So once this is included, we will be no worry for another 15 years. then we can make long-term plans and even larger programs, because larger program takes a much longer time to prepare. So all this will change the total scenario, and the research force and the engineers can be more stable. We will be we are really expecting that more stable budget.
You also called for the development of a space tourism. When do you think it will be commercialized in China? How will it benefit other industries?
Yes, it is a new field. It's called a new space. And what we are doing, including space science, is old space. So old space means the budget, the investors are government. So our customer is government. And this investment is limited. It never go very high because government doesn't have so much money to pay for space science or even for space programs. So it's a limited budget. But if we open our services to the general public, like tourism, then we will have another sector of money coming in from other parts, which is a more commercialized market. So once we have that market, the space activity will have two wheels. One is governmental, one is a commercial public investment. So tourism is one of the very bright direction for space activities, because when people are going to space, it's not only for travel, not only for fun. It will change the people. The people who has been there will have a space passion. They were looking at the Earth. The Earth is the atmosphere is so tiny, little thin atmosphere, and if you go to the moon, looking back the Earth is just planet. So once you are there, the tourism will be changed. Their passion, they will have a more humanity passion. So like what we have the COVID-19 now is you see a lot of governors, they don't really have that passion. We need that passion to come to this kind of input for the whole human beings. So space tourism is not only for market, for money. It will totally change the mentality of human beings.
Like
a few astronauts will not change it. So only if you have more people, 10,000 of people, 100,000 of people to go to the space as a tourism, the mentality of the human beings will be changed. This will open a new business field. So there will be a very large market. At the moment, one travel in the U.S. they have some company has already started this. So one it's only 20 minutes microgravity in the near space cost 200,000 pounds. So so one ticket is only one ticket. So if you launch 3, 5, 10 vehicles like this, spaceship like this, you will make a lot of money. So the market value is very high. So of course the government will get tax, and people will love to do it, and industry will benefit from the reusable space vehicles, and all this will be totally different from the government paid space, which is old space. So we are looking at the new space.
As we know, not long ago, the United States has announced the establishment of the U.S. Space Force. So how do you view the necessity of building such an army? What's China's stance on this?
I don't. My personal view is it's a wrong direction, because space belongs to the whole human beings. Space doesn't have boundary there. So if you open a military competition there or a military race, space race there, it will cost a lot of money for all the country participate. As far as I know, China will never participate in this kind of a campaign. So it is like the space race between the Soviet Union and United States 20 years ago. the USSR has been collapsed because of this race. So you have to pay a lot of money, and this game is not a win-win. This is a lose game. Both parties, all parties will lose. So this is not the right direction. If US want to do that, China will never participate. So let them do it.